It's the afternoon of August 14th, 1947. In the streets of Old Delhi, the summer heat is matched by a palpable, electric anxiety. Millions of citizens are awake, waiting. A strict, invisible window is closing. When the clocks strike exactly 12 a.m., the legal authority of the British Raj over the Indian subcontinent will cease to exist. The stakes are immense. For generations, this rigid hierarchy of colonial officers and local royalty managed a massive imperial machine, dictating the lives and resources of hundreds of millions. Bureaucrats have hours to untangle a subcontinent's administrative grid, dividing military regiments, railway cars, and treasury funds across untested borders. As the grid pulls apart, it leaves a temporary vacuum of authority. The absolute deadline pushes a massive population toward an uncertain transition. The tension on August 14th stems from this collision, the anticipation of liberty beating the heavy, technical burden of building a functioning state in a single night. As night falls over New Delhi, the focus shifts. Outside the circular walls of Parliament House, a sea of citizens converges, filling the streets as the final hour approaches. Inside, the chambers of the Constituent Assembly are crowded and stifling. The delegates gathered here are waiting to take the reins of a government that is, in this moment, still legally bound to London. This chart maps the specific execution of the Indian Independence Act. It dictates a precise legal pivot. At the stroke of midnight, the British Crown formally relinquishes its authority, and total sovereignty transfers directly to the Indian Constituent Assembly. The room remains locked in protocol. Delegates sit in formal, period-accurate attire, fulfilling bureaucratic requirements, while simultaneously grappling with the heavy reality that their next vote will be as citizens of a sovereign state. This isn't just a spontaneous celebration. It is a highly choreographed, high-stakes legal transaction, executed in real time under the eyes of the world. The final minutes bleed away. A heavy silence falls over the packed assembly hall. Jawaharlal Nehru steps to the wooden podium. Leaning into the All India radio microphones, he begins to speak to the room and to millions of listeners across the country. He tells the assembly that the nation has reached the moment to redeem its long-standing pledge to history, describing an India finally waking to life and freedom. At exactly 12 o'clock, the heavy mechanical clock hand loudly hits the mark. Total legal sovereignty officially transfers. The British flag is lowered. After decades of presence, the Union Jack is brought down, now a discarded relic of a former authority. At 12 a.m., the legal framework of a centuries-old empire is formally dissolved. The transition is marked not by a final battle, but by the movement of a clock hand and the conclusion of a speech. On the morning of August 15th, the atmospheric shift is immediate. Natural light hits the streets of a city that is, for the first time in generations, completely self-governing. A new national flag is hoisted. For the thousands witnessing it, the fluttering tricolor is the physical confirmation of the sovereignty they had collectively willed into existence. This morning signals the arrival of the world's most populous democracy. As news of the handover travels, other colonial territories begin to look at this specific transfer of power as a viable blueprint for their own path to sovereignty. August 15, 1947, remains a critical fulcrum of the 20th century. It demonstrated that a functioning, democratic state of this scale could be established through a single, coordinated act of legal and political will.